so in love with you.
Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Obviously, today is your Thursday housing market update video. You guys know I like to wait till Thursday just so I can wait for the Fred economic data graph to come out so we can take a look at the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage, which compares FHA, VA, conventional, not just conventional, which makes it appear that the rates are a lot higher than they are. So we're going to look at the rates and then we're going to hop onto my MLS and I'm going to show you guys some trends of what I have been noticing in my local market. Plus, we're going to compare what we saw last week to this week, and we're going to see what's going on in Houston. Now, remember what I'm saying, you guys, for a lot of the people that are impatient, remember the effects of the cooling down market are not going to enter into each metro area the same or at the same time. So be patient. That's why I had to look at the entire nation because at first I didn't see these signs in Houston. So I was looking at the entire nation and I was watching it cool down. Now I'm finally starting to see it in my own housing market. Now, you guys remember this. I am not your financial advisor. I am not your financial advisor. I'm a YouTube opinion sharer. And while we're at it, if you can, for the algorithm, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, comment. Now let's get started right now and pull up the Fred economic data graph and check out what today's rates are. But before I do that, remember, you guys, on all of my videos, I give you guys a link to this data for you to review on your own because I believe in independence, in self-empowerment, self-education. So please, you guys, do that. Check out what I'm looking at and form your own conclusions. But let's take a look at Fred right now. Okay, guys, here's the Fred graph on 30-year fixed rate mortgage average in the United States. Remember, I choose this graph instead of like Mortgage Bankers Association because their rates are a lot higher because they're focused on conventional. This is more on all of the types of loans. So let's see what the rates came out with for this week. It looks like they went down. So they went down slightly. You guys, they're basically the same. They went down 0.05% on average. So it went from 5.3 last Thursday. Fast forward to this Thursday, it's the same 5.25%, right? So essentially what we're seeing is it kind of balancing out, which is kind of what I would have wished we saw, going back into 2021. I wish these measures would have been taken so we didn't have to have this rug pull. As you guys know, the surging, skyrocketing interest rates was a rug pull to so many home buyers, even if it wasn't to you. So it's going to be especially interesting just to see how much higher these rates are going to go as we move on throughout the year. Now, obviously, the federal funds rate doesn't necessarily mean that the residential mortgage rates are going up, but the fact that the Federal Reserve is no longer buying mortgage-backed securities, that they're actually going to start selling mortgage-backed securities, and also the yield on the 10-year Treasury, those are big reasons why the interest rates are going up. So we're going to start seeing, I believe we're going to start seeing 6% before the end of summer. Going into the fall, I think we may near 7%. It really just depends on how out of control the inflation is, right? So the interest rates are going up because out of control inflation that everyone knew about, except the people that mattered, apparently, right? Because they should have taken these actions much sooner. But what I want to do today, you guys, let's go on my MLS. We're going to hop on my local MLS. Let's see house days on the market. We're going to see some price cuts, but I really want to show you new home builders. And I want to show you how much the new home builders in my local market are cutting their prices. Let's take a look at my MLS right now. Okay, guys, so here's my MLS. And, like I said, my local market's Houston. I don't buy, real estate downtown for obvious reasons. The commute, I like to stay in the outskirts. So I'm going to go north of Houston. We've been tracking an area called Kingwood on my channel. I want to stick with one area just to focus on one set of patterns. Every local market is different. Now, the first thing I want to point out is look at all of the houses in green. So the houses in green are active listings. The ones in orange are pending. So, go back to my last Thursday videos. You guys remember when there was very little green. Look at how much active listings we have now, right? This is a lot more inventory. Look at down here. Look at this pocket here. Huge pocket all over here. There's multiple houses. Look at down here. Oh, I can't wait to tell you about this. I finally toured this house, the one that I found. I finally toured that. I'll get back to that in a minute. But we are definitely having an inventory increase, you guys, in my local market. all of these houses right here. Look at all these houses up here. So I'm starting to see inventory go up, and we should see inventory go up, right? We're seeing demand crippled, but we should also see inventory start going up. Those are the months we are in the year, plus with demand being crippled. But here's the thing. I've been telling you guys that my buy point for a house that I love is about $120 a square foot. I found one down here at $106 a square foot. Now, I told you guys that the reason why I didn't go out there is I felt like the seller was hiding something, or that the house was going to be off the market because it was so cheap. Because look at how much this house costs per square foot. Let me show you. $106 a square foot. Okay. So it's very, very affordable square foot. These pictures, by the way, you would think you guys can kind of see that. Look at how beautiful. Oh, by the way, I went out there. This is gone. So that insulation's been repaired. I don't know why they didn't take another picture, probably because I'm not going to go there. Okay. But look at, it's just amazing. Everything's supposed to be great about this house, right? Here's the thing, you guys. I toured that house 2 days ago. Okay. Because someone made a comment like, Travis, what's wrong with you? That insulation, it's a $10 fix. Just go out, tour the house. If you like it, buy it. Right. So I was like, they got a point. Even though I was going to make a video on actually touring that house, but my GoPro battery died. If you know anything about GoPros, if it's like 20% or low battery, it's just going to die. It's not even worth trying. So unfortunately, I didn't have the battery, but I went out there, you guys. And here's what I have to say about that listing. Whoever took the photos is an absolute genius. When we got out to the property, even though it had all that new stuff and, the renovated, the workmanship appeared, in my opinion, to be poorly done. The handle was falling off on the door. There was several places in that house that was falling apart. The home was built in 1965. So when I walked into that home, and still, instead of feeling that presence of, wow, this is all new, this is beautiful, I felt, wow, this is trash. Whoever did this work did a crappy job, right? And that brings me to my next thing. That's why you can't buy homes with tours that are online. You must go out there. Those pictures are beautiful. When I get out to that house, complete shambles. And I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to even go in to the service of the realtor that's representing that house and how, in my opinion, they failed in so many ways to sell that property. Okay. I'm not going to go into that. I want to, but I'm not going to. But let's just say I was sitting outside of that property for about 20 minutes before I can even gain access to it. Who in the right mind does that? But anyways, you guys, that house is trash. I'm gonna pass on that. And the reason is, when I walked into it, I felt like it was a massive money pit. I would probably have to spend $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. And quite frankly, I don't want that project right now. So I'm gonna pass on it. But I did go out to see it. The reason why it's still on the market is trash. Let's go back to MLS. So this house, guys, even though it's $106 a square foot, is not something I'm going to buy. But what I want to show you is, go back to these new builds over here. Okay, here's some new builds here. And I want to see if I can find any price cuts for you guys. Okay, so these are all new builds. This was, remember what I've been saying, the new builds, I've been noticing 20 to even 30% above market value as it pertains to resale homes. All right, guys, so let's just click on a couple and see if we can find any price cuts. Let's click on this first one right here and see what we can find. Okay, so they did price cut this one a little bit. I found one that was actually $40,000 price cut. This is only a small one. This was actually a couple days ago. So that was a small price cut. You guys see. Okay, guys, what I just noticed, I'm still going to click on a couple of these, but the builder has just relisted several of these houses and has hidden the drop in listing price. So these were actually showing like $40,000, $50,000 drop, but they've relisted it. Let's click on this first one right here. I'm going to show you guys. Okay, this one's a drop right here. So here's at least a drop of $12,000. So this house right here, a new build, dropped $12,000 in listing price, which is nice, right? At least there's a drop. Let's look at this one, see if we can see a drop here. This was a drop of $5,000. So we had a $5,000 drop, a $10,000 drop. So you see they're starting to drop. Now it's really sneaky that they relisted some of these to show that they didn't have such a massive price drop, which is actually pretty clever, you guys. So I can't show you that right now, unfortunately. But these ones down here, these ones essentially were listed at like 470 to 480, and they're at like 460 now, 450, 450. They were like they were like $30,000, $40,000 higher, but they just relisted these to bring that down. So that's really clever of that new home builder. I didn't realize they did that, you guys, until I started making this video. But at least I was able to show you some new home builders that have, at least they're dropping their prices. A few days ago, I could actually show you guys a little bit better proof of how much they're dropping their prices, being like 10% drop, 40,000, 30,000 drop from these new home builders. Regardless, we're starting to see the new home builders drop their prices, right? And that's a trend of things to come. But not only are we seeing new home builders drop their prices, we're finally starting to see buyers incentives again. That's going to continue as we move through 2022. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. We're starting to see the market cool off. And what I'm saying is it's not going to be a soft landing, right? It's going to be a bumpy ride. But thank God in my local market, I'm finally starting to see signs of cooling down on many different aspects now. And remember, Houston lags behind the average part of the nation. Houston's a lot more strong as far as a housing market, as far as fundamentals, in my opinion. So it took a while for me to start seeing those trends. And it's going to take a while for some other metro areas as well. So if you're frustrated, if you're starting to be impatient, don't. If you don't see it in your local housing market and you're getting impatient, stop looking. Look at another housing market that you can see the trends and expect that to enter your housing market. But anyways, you guys, I really appreciate you watching this video with me. I always appreciate you taking this journey with me. I hope to win myself. I will bring you through that as I purchase real estate, but not right now, right? And as always, you guys, if you are out there investing in real estate, I really do wish you luck and I hope you win.